What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Cloud Slayer podcast. Hope you guys are doing well today. I was just up late, super freaking late, but doing some chores, got to change oil and stuff like that. I mean, dropped off some clothes for, you know, donations. We don't use them anymore. Don't seek to profit or anything like that. So, like just anybody else, right? You just go dump it in the clothes drop box. Thank God for those things, that they get to clothe people, families that really need it. You know what I mean? So. Absolutely, it's beautiful to see that, people have that shit set up. When you're growing up, they didn't really have shit like that, and people didn't really care. You know what I mean? There's still people around these days that they're still kind of like shitting on people, that are going through like misfortunes. They say, oh, okay, this guy might drive a better car than you. Okay, that might be the case with some people, but that's not the case for everybody. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crappy to have that mindset when somebody else is possibly going through that. Like they say, you didn't walk a mile in their shoes. You don't know what they're going through at the time, physically, mentally, or financially. Any of those shits. So count your blessings, especially if you're up. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to give back. Don't be afraid to frickin' just give some clothes away. Sure it costs money or whatever, but you got your turn out of those. Give back to somebody that could use those, especially if they're still in great condition, great shape to be used, and for people that are less fortunate, especially during these like cold winter months. I know it's pretty late and stuff like that, especially in winter. Winter's about over. Hopefully pretty soon, freaking March. Hopefully it's done pretty quick. Usually goes till April, right? So especially in Minnesota here. We're getting some more snow here, Christ out, guys. But I wanted to do a quick check-in and stuff like that. I hadn't been as active as I want to be, but I'm reaching out to people, and hopefully they can share their stories with us. And it's beautiful to be able to set this thing up. I try not to do too many of myself anymore, because I don't want to seem like I'm like self-conceited or anything like that, especially in this channel, because it's really, in my mind, I created this channel to have people share their stories, share their any kind of experience, hardships, and even like the great things. Like this thing isn't all about drugs and stuff like that. It can be good things that you've accomplished. Don't be afraid to reach out to me. But I want just so everybody's clear, I want everybody to know that it's, if you come on here and you're lying about something, you're not lying to me. You're not lying to anybody that's listening to this. You're lying to yourself. That's who the fuck you're lying to. All right. I don't. It's not that I don't care or anything like that. Obviously, if I didn't care, you wouldn't. I wouldn't have anybody on the show. I wouldn't be extending anything like that. But just know that in the inside, you're lying to yourself, man. Or woman. You know what I mean? So it's good to come through and be honest with yourself. Don't come out here and tell like old fucking lying stories like you're doing this or that. And another thing, right? When in all reality you're not. You're freaking, you're still doing drugs. You're still drinking, or who cares if you're drinking? Like, I don't care if you're drinking or anything like that. I hope you're doing better. That's all I care about. And hopefully that's all the people get from you sharing your stories and stuff like that. That's the bottom line, and that's why I originally started like doing this podcast and sharing it on the channel for each and everybody to hear and listen. Oh, sorry about that. I should have turned that off a long time ago. But it's just know you're not lying to us. You're lying to yourself. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Get situated. Oh, I should have checked to make sure my truck was in all the way. right, we have a successful pork chop. Whatever. Sorry, guys. You guys probably think I'm crazy, but it is what it is, right? Yeah. So I just wanted to clarify that, get that off my chest, and I hope that helps anybody that's, if you're helps anybody share their stories or any kind of accomplishments, man. Reach out to me, hit me up, and stay in touch. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to show up on the podcast. You just tell me your story. That share it. If you want to share it with somebody, I'll be there. I'll have an open ear, and various things like that. So hit me up. You hit me up on Facebook. You can hit me up on freaking my YouTube comments, man. You can drop your email, man. I'll reach out to you with my email. My email's traviscloud5345@gmail.com. Again, that's traviscloud5345@gmail.com. If you want to be discreet about it and you're afraid to talk or anything like that, hit me up on email. I know how intimidating it can be just talking, or asking a simple question. I'm pretty down to earth. I'm kind of a weirdo. You know what I mean? I'm real quiet, especially if I don't know you, and if I haven't talked to you in a long time. If I'm quiet at first, that's because I'm trying to get to know who you are, and I'm not trying to creep you out, make you run away right away, stuff like that. But just know one thing though. If you ever need anybody to talk to, reach out, man. If you want to share it on the podcast, I'll be happy to have you come share your story. It's not just your story, you know what I mean? It's your life. It's your fucking life. So back to the main point of this was, you're not lying to anybody but yourself. If you come up on the podcast and you make something up, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. Neither is anybody that's watching. But if it's eating away at you, you know what I mean? Just come out and fucking tell the truth, dude. That's all you gotta do, and don't be afraid of that. That's a part of getting better. That's a part of moving forward and progressing. You don't have to quit drinking. You don't have to quit smoking dope or any of that stuff, But if that helps you and keeps your mind clear and prioritize what really should be prioritized, especially if you're like an adult, if you have children, if you have a spouse or anything like that, like prioritize those things. Or you got to maintain your fucking house. You know what I mean? If any of those things, if anything at all, is taken away from that, like, it could be certain people, It doesn't have to be alcohol. It doesn't have to be drugs. There's different things that limit different people. It's not always just booze and stuff like that. So I wanted to say that, like, it's kind of hard, and I'm not always super clear about that. And like I said, I'm not the most vocal person either. But I started this channel just for that reason, right? And I like I said, I love hearing everybody's stories and stuff like that. It just it's based on truthfulness, not with anybody in particular, but yourself. That's the one particular, is with yourself and yourself only. I've had that issue with myself for many years. You know what I mean? I still day-to-day battle, right? And it's never going to come to an end. As long as you're breathing, as long as you have doubts, as long as you have something to accomplish, you're going to have those battles. You're going to have those gripes, and you got to look at yourself and tell yourself, hey, man, let's be truthful, man. Like I say, talk to yourself first. When you're ready, reach out to a friend, reach out to a relative. It doesn't even have to be me. Talk to a really close person. You know what I mean? I don't really care about views or like subscriptions and stuff, but if people do like this content, please hit that like and subscribe button, obviously. But it's not about that. It's about helping people get better, and being truthful with themselves. It wasn't just people. I'm being selfish too. It's for myself. I got to be honest about that because, in my own point of view, I'm a very weak person, mentally, physically, and so on and so forth. Even though a lot of people think I'm strong, smart, stuff like that, it's an internal battle, right? And we all have those conflicts going on within ourselves, and it's just a matter of being honest with yourself. You can't be honest. I find you can't be honest with others if you're not honest with yourself. Stuff like that. I don't know. I lied to myself when I was younger so much that I believed my own bullshit, right? And I mean, it still affects me to this day and stuff like that because, I find myself slipping into that place, that dark mindset, that what did I say, that like that inner bitch, right? That inner bitch that's always like crying about something. Oh, my back hurts, my legs hurt, the government's holding me down type bullshit, and stuff like that. But it's you who's holding you back, and it's you who's gonna pick your ass up and carry you out of there. So also, if you come on the channel or anything like that, it's not going to cure you. It's not going to do any of that. It'll just help you share your life and be honest with yourself. And hopefully, you can see that, and it can help others see that as well. Because there's millions of people out there, billions of people, right? And they're out there too. They're struggling just like everybody else. And, they might have fancy cars. They might have all the nicest gear. They might have all that shit. You know what I mean? But doesn't mean they're not hurting. There's people like Anthony Bourdain who, what was that? Dave Chappelle. He got paid to eat, with exceptional people, man. And he was very successful. He was very rich, but he had that battle, right? That's the point of it. He had that battle, that internal battle within himself, and he lost to it, right? He lost to it, whatever loneliness, whatever griefs or anything like that. And I don't mean to disrespect him and or his family, and my condolences to them, But I've also come from a place like that too, and so has many other people, and like you might have came close to like killing yourself, or you've OD'd, you've done a lot of shit to yourself, self-harm, and various things like that. But you came out, you're a better person. You're probably, you can be watching that shit right now. You could be me, you could be somebody else, but the bottom line is this, that you're going to be fighting for the rest of your life, and the only person that's ever going to make it better is you, and how you choose to stay away from those things, man. I had a very wise uncle, man. He was not by blood, but he'll be more uncle to me than anybody in my entire fucking life. We did a lot of ceremonies and stuff like that, and we're Three Fires Medewan Lodge. I'm an Ojibwe Native American, and his name was Mark Broder. He's a Native American artist, and he's a bigger man. He went through hardships in his life, and he had a big problem with like pills and stuff like that, alcohol and whatnot. But he was sober for a long time. Through my youth, he'd always like, hey Trav, like pick your head up, boy. You got a great life, you know what I mean? And you don't know hardships and shit like that. And he was right. I was a kid. I was living under the roof of my parents, and I didn't know nothing. Just because you think you're depressed and stuff like that, because people are being hard on you, they whip your ass, like my mom and stuff. Like, I love my mom, and I appreciate everything she did for me, and sometimes, yeah, all right, maybe some of those mental beatings, I think were the worst out of everything. Like, I can deal with the ass whippings, but she broke me down mentally when I was a kid. But you know, I got past that, and she had her own demons too, and I don't hold that against her, and stuff like that. And I talked to my mom, and my mom, she was raised pretty fucked up too by her grandpa, but or her dad, my grandpa, and stuff like that. But my uncle, he'd always think about other people. You know what I mean? He'd never, when he was doing work for people, for the lodge, it was always for the aunties. It was always for, hopefully nobody trips on this. This is why we do this. This is why we take care of the grounds around like the sweat lodge and stuff like that. So nobody trips, nobody falls in the fire or anything like that. Like, even though it goes unappreciated, it gets paid back from within. You know that you did that shit. You don't always need to be congratulated, and nor should you. And if that's what's getting you down, know one thing, man. You're doing a great thing. You're helping people out if that's what you're doing, and if that's making you feel bad, I'm sorry, man. I hope you can see that shouldn't be getting you down, and that you're doing a great thing. You just gotta remind yourself sometimes, But he ended up towards the end. I seen him. I was probably about. He died 4 or 5 years ago now. So I'm about to be 31. So I was about 26, and I seen him when I was 25, and he was all over the place, man. I could tell he was on drugs and stuff like that, and I said something to him. I was like, "Hey, uncle, you all right? You don't look all right." You know what I mean? And he's like, "Who? And it was like he was all out of it. He was all over the place. But like, I wanted to chew his ass like he would do for me. But I knew he was in a different place too. You know what I mean? And I wanted to say so much more, and but I knew at that time it was probably wrong. He seemed kind of fragile, like he was almost gone, I guess. It was, man, I'm trying not to cry here and thinking about it, because I love my uncle, man, and I love him till the day I die. He'll be more uncle, like I said, he's more uncle than any uncle in my life has ever been for me. He was like a father figure. He's one of the great figures in my life. And every day when I'm doing stuff, I hear his voice and stuff like that. But all I said was like, "Hey, uncle, just know you're great, man. I hope you get through this." And that's all I said. And I seen that kind of like twitch in his head, in his face, like that in his eye. When you see that when something hits somebody, like, damn, maybe I do, but sometimes it might also be too late. And in my uncle's case, it was too late, man. Rest in peace, my uncle. And he made his choices too, and he was going through his own battles. I can only imagine how lonely he was. You mask that loneliness with drugs, with alcohol, or anything else. Anything else that covers that up, that makes you beat around the bush, that makes you deny what's really wrong with you. It makes you not address that thing. It's whatever you're running away from, man. And if you can learn anything from my uncle is, even though he lost his battle with drugs, he helped inspire many people. He was never afraid to speak up. He was never afraid to tell you how it was. He was, he was like that ray of sunshine, man. And he wasn't perfect, and he had his own battles and various things like that. And I'm not going to remember him as that guy that was on pills. I'll remember him as the guy when I was younger, the man that would tell you what to do, how to do it, and why we do it, and stuff like that. And he was always smiling. He wasn't just, I want to say this, he wasn't just an uncle in front of certain people. It didn't matter who was there. and where he was or what he was doing, he'd come up, give you a big ass bear hug. That was my Uncle Mark. He'd motherfucker come up and bear hug your ass, you know. He was a big lovable bear, and you know, he was there for you no matter what, man. Through thick and thin. If anything would happen, he'd speak up. And you know, we need more people like that in this world, you know. Imperfect, man. We're all imperfect. I have my own battles, you know. Like it said many times, alcohol, drugs, mostly weed. I only fucked with marijuana mostly. I've like when I did other things, it was like prescription pills and stuff like that. Snorting, I'd smoke it on a tin with some people. It wasn't the greatest, you know what I mean? But that's what I was choosing to do, to run away from reality. You know, I was trying to create a reality within my own mind, and you know, eventually that rhetoric it dies out, you know, and pretty soon fun turns into shambles. You're waking up. You can be waking up with different women, man. You can be waking up with different men. I don't know. I don't blame you for whatever you do, as long as you're happy and you love that person. But you could be waking up with different people, and you know you're the reason why you may have slept with that person is to feel like accepted. But the more you do it, the more the less and less accepted you feel within. You know, you feel more dark and lonely, and you know, you just feel like a sack of shit, you know, a sack of potatoes and stuff like that. So, you know, just if you find yourself at that crossroad before you start thinking and feeling like this world is a better place without you, you know, you gotta address it. Go find some help, man. Reach out, talk to somebody. They got AA classes. They got, you know, if that's alcohol for you, if it's pills and all that too, you know, they got stuff like that you can sign up for. But, you know, even if you get sober for a while, for many years, man, that bug's always going to be there. That high, that low, that whatever the hell, you know, whatever it is that you're running from, whatever it is that gave you a thrill, whatever made you chill, and vice versa, you know. Any of that shit, it can come back and haunt you if you don't stay fighting. You gotta keep fighting, man. And girls, I'm sorry, I hate to generalize saying man and woman and stuff like that. Just man. I say just man and bro or something a lot, but I don't mean just male genders. I'm speaking on female genders as well. So women, you could, if you have any of that stuff you guys want to talk about too, you know, I had my one of my best friends, Amy, on a few episodes ago, and you know, the thing is, like with her interview, it was like, I love Amy. That's like my sister, right? Amy Hoyland, like my sister. We, you know, drank a lot together, and you know, we were close. I was close with her family, and rest in peace to her mom, stuff like that. Yeah, but you know, she was, for a long time, she would tell me the story of like her boyfriend, this Chris Chappelle. I thought he was just like a, you know, I was a biased point of view, you know what I mean? And I only knew what I was told of him, and you know, I don't think bad of this guy. I mean, you know, it is what it is, and I don't care what his point of view of me is. Personally, I don't give a shit, right? And I'm sure he doesn't give a fuck neither, right? Because whatever, we're human beings, we're grown ass men, and at the end of the day, it's what you think about yourself, man. But she was saying that he beat her so badly that it like fractured her skull in 3 different places, and I was glad that she finally came out and said that it was like a concussion, got bruises, you know what I mean, and it wasn't that bad. So I'm glad that she was like able to get the truth out and stop lying to herself, you know, and lying to others. Like, I was kind of mad within because I was like, man, this chick, this motherfucker, I thought we were brother and sister, you know what I mean? Like, I would fucking I'd fight somebody for her if, you know, if that was, at least at one point, right? But, you know, if that's what I had to do and she needed that because it's family, blood or not, and, you know, her son, you know, Christian, love that kid. He's a very smart kid, and, you know, I'm sure they've seen some shit, but you know what I mean? It's stuff like that. Like, you just got to come out and be honest with yourself. You're not lying to anybody else. You're not lying to me. You're not lying to anybody that's watching this. So it just be truthful to yourself. That's the bottom line, and that's going to help you go forward and, you know, progress in your life, and, you know, maybe it'll fucking open it. So thanks for showing up to another episode. I know it's boring and people don't like just seeing me just talk and ramble and shit like that, but I was driving and, you know, I was in my own mind. I'm not gonna lie about that. And, you know, I was feeling, you know, I've been feeling kind of sad and stuff like that, thinking about the past, you know what I mean? I always say let it go and whatnot, but, you know, it's not that easy. I understand, and I'm sure you understand too, right? So, but you just got to continue to go, and I wanted to just share my mind a little bit, and for anybody that sees this and you decide to step up, share your story or anything like that, your life, I'm sorry, I keep calling it a fucking story, but it's not. It's your life. It's your life experience, man. And girl, I'm sorry. There I go again. I'm just getting riled up. Like, I forget to breathe sometimes, right? So, but you come on here, you share your life with us, and or not. Hit me up in the Gmail, dude. Emails. You can also hit me up on Discord. It's Cloudslayer 53. I'll add a link of my Discord and stuff like that. But from now on, I'm gonna stay exclusively to YouTube, and I'm stopping Spotify. I don't need multiple platforms. I'm just gonna stick on YouTube, and I'm gonna call that home, regardless. And whether I get like I said, 1 million subscribers or not, or anything like that, I can stay at, you know, I can dwindle down to 2. I don't care. I want to help people get past that lying to themselves, and, you know, help them in their battle within. And, you know, you can just hit me up anytime, man. Just know that, and I'll lend my ear to you, or I can direct you to somebody that'll also lend their ear to you, because I know some great people that are willing to not only listen to you, but, you know, give you some advice, because they've been through the same shit, man. There's a lot of us out there, you know, that are recovering from addictions, but not only addictions, but ourselves, you know. You can blame the drugs, you can blame the alcohol, but it's you, man. Find that love for yourself again. Find that love for yourself, for those around you, you know. And hope you tune in again. I hope you guys have a great night. Thanks for tuning into the Cloudslayer podcast, guys. It's always a fucking pleasure, and I hope seeing more of you guys into the future. Peace out, bitches.